Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Turmoil in Pakistan is our top focus story. Maryam Nawaz of the PMLN and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari of the Pakistan People's Party, they've come together. 11 opposition parties have come together against Imran Khan, and Maryam Nawaz called Imran Khan a coward. She said her father will return and Imran Khan will go to jail. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari called Imran Khan a puppet on strings of the selectors. Read Pakistan Army. I'll get you details of this turmoil. There are protests from Gilgit-Baltistan to Sindh and Balochistan, but most significant protests in Pakistan's Punjab province, considered the backbone of the Pakistan Army. Action-packed 30 minutes. Let's get started. Turmoil in India's neighborhood, and we focus on Pakistan, where 11 opposition parties have come together for restoring, as they claim, democracy in Pakistan. They've hit out at Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan for a series of failures, from economy to foreign policy and of course Kashmir. But here Maryam Nawaz of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, she is the vice president of this party, Nawaz Sharif's daughter. She launched a frontal attack on Imran Khan. She also raked India, Kashmir and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's issue. Let's quickly listen into Maryam Nawaz and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and their attack on Imran Khan.
कश्मीर प्लेट में रख के मोदी को पेश करो तुम, कश्मीर का मुकदमा हार जाओ तुम, भारत को सलामती कौंसिल के लिए वोट दो तुम, और मोदी की जबान हम बोल रहे हैं.
Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, Vice President and daughter of former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, Maryam Nawaz, hit out at Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan at a massive rally at Karachi on Sunday. At an anti-government rally organized by 11 opposition parties, including Pakistan People's Party, Maryam Nawaz exposed Imran Khan's failures, one after the other.
जब तुमसे तुम्हारी नाकामियों के बारे में पूछा जाता है, तुम्हारी नालायकी के बारे में पूछा जाता है, तुम्हारी नाअहली के बारे में पूछा जाता है, तो जल्दी से जाके फौज के पीछे छुप जाते हो, जल्दी से जाके फौज की वर्दी की पनाह ले लेते हो.
At the anti-Imran rally, Maryam Nawaz not only swore to send Imran Khan to jail, but also insist that Nawaz Sharif would be brought back to Pakistan. Maryam Nawaz insists Imran Khan, despite saying "Ghabrana nahi hai" or "do not worry," was extremely worried by the opposition coming together for the restoration of genuine democracy in Pakistan. Hours after the rally, Maryam Nawaz tweeted to say her husband, Captain Safdar Awan, had been arrested by the Karachi police by breaking open their hotel door.
वोट को इज्जत दो, वोट को इज्जत दो, वोट को इज्जत दो. मादरे मिल्लत जिंदाबाद, मादरे मिल्लत जिंदाबाद.
Later in the evening, he was released.
जेल की धमकी, नैब की धमकी.
Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, chairman of the Pakistan People's Party, and Maulana Fazlur Rahman of Jamiyat Ulema-e-Islami were also a part of the Jalsa at Karachi, along with former Pakistan Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi. Bilawal Bhutto called Imran Khan a puppet of the selectors or the Pakistan Army.
आवाम की ताकत के सामने जोर और जबर वाले नहीं ठहर सकते, नहीं ठहर सकते. इस कठपुतली वजीर आजम की हुकूमत, इस कठपुतली वजीर आजम की हुकूमत की तो बुनियाद ही नहीं है, ये सब ढांचा खोखला है.
आपने इलेक्शनों में आवाम के इंतखाब को रद्द करके अपनी मर्जी का नाअहल टोला इस कौम पर मुसल्लत किया. नतीजे में होने वाली बर्बादी के भी आप ही जिम्मेदार हैं. जनरल बाजवा साहब, जवाब आपको ही देना पड़ेगा, आपको.
Past weeks have seen growing turmoil in Pakistan, with slogans also being raised against the Pakistan Army and the Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa. Even in Pakistan's Punjab province, considered the backbone of the Pakistan Army. There has also been a spike in protests against Imran Khan in Sindh and Balochistan over the promulgation of an ordinance to take over local land. Protests from Gilgit-Baltistan to Balochistan, across Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and now even Pakistan's Punjab province are a major cause for concern for Imran Khan and the Pakistan Army. So is this now endgame Imran Khan, or will the army continue to bail him out? That remains the big question. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Delhi, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. And let me take this question straight to Arzu Kazmi, senior journalist who joins us from Pakistan. Also with me is Ambassador Vishnu Prakash and Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, two people who keep a very keen eye on Pakistan. But Arzu Kazmi, is this endgame Imran Khan?
No, I don't think so, that it's an end game for Imran Khan. But yes, all the opposition parties are out to give him a hard time. And, without the support of establishment, nobody can make a party or any this kind of activities in Pakistan. If they are out and they are making rallies and jalsas and giving a tough time to Imran Khan, that means there is someone behind them, because they cannot do it by themselves. Everybody knows the establishment role in Pakistan.
Okay, that's a very interesting point you raised there, Arzu Kazmi, that somebody is behind them. Can you elaborate for the benefit of viewers in India? Who is this somebody who's backing these jalsas, first in Gujranwala, now Karachi?
Of course, as I said, that establishment must be behind them. They are supporting them just to give a hard time to Imran Khan, because Imran's government is a big failure. He is not able to handle anything in the country, be it education system or health or whatever. But that's why maybe establishment is behind these rallies, and they are supporting these parties to come forward and give some stress or tension to Imran Khan.
Is this just to give some tension to Imran Khan, or is it game up Imran Khan? Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, in your appreciation, because Imran Khan, and I've been watching a lot of Pakistani media, they seem to give out that impression that he's been a failure on every front, on the domestic front, on the political front, on the economic front, on foreign policy. Saudi Arabia is angry, UAE is angry, China treats them virtually, like a vassal state. In your appreciation, is this endgame Imran Khan?
Yes, I think that the countdown has begun. Now it depends on the army whether the countdown will be from 1,000 or 100 or 10. I think the shelf life of Imran Khan is coming to a close. Let us not forget, Gaurav, that he was essentially an appointed prime minister, and initially he did ruffle quite a few feathers. He had Nawaz Sharif arrested. He gave senior Zardari a hard time. And certainly he has not been the best of the leaders that Pakistan could have expected. Corruption is everywhere. His own special assistant has been caught with a hand in the till, just about $40 million of family wealth. So, and he's dispensable. The army will project itself as the savior of the nation, and Mr. Imran Khan's days are quite numbered, I think.
So, of course, this is a task which will be easier said than done, even for the Pakistan Army, with General Asim Bajwa. And there's been a lot of criticism coming Pakistan Army's way, courtesy this Lieutenant General known as the Papa John pizza delivery man in Pakistan, because of the franchisee that a 3-star general of the Pakistan Army had. But General Gurmeet Singh, in your appreciation, is the target Imran Khan, or is the real target including of those, as Arzu Kazmi very rightly says, those in the establishment supporting these jalsas, whether it's in the ISI or some of the core commanders, do they want General Qamar Javed Bajwa out, who's on extension already?
Gaurav, what is different this time is that the target is not only Imran Khan. Target is Pakistan Army also. In fact, you had seen in the protest, they were even calling the name of Bajwa. I would say that, look, the protest level, the participation and the discontent level which is there in the Pakistan is massive. I think this is what the difference is. And apart from that, I would say that this time the level of attack, level of directness in attack, calling the Pakistan Army as the state above the state. In fact, I would say this time there are many contents of the protest which are different and are powerful. So I think this is one of the deciding moments. And you know, the shift from saying the
very interesting. You said this is a very decisive moment in Pakistan's history. Yes, but you know what is extremely interesting, Arzu Kazmi? We've heard of protests taking place in Gilgit-Baltistan, Muzaffarabad, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh and Balochistan. But this time, protests against the Pakistan Army in Gujranwala, in Pakistan's Punjab province. Does that make this very different, and will the Pakistan Army be very uncomfortable? This is where the backbone of the Pakistan Army comes from, and there are protests against the army here, led in a way even by Nawaz Sharif, a strongman from Punjab.
I think they are not against the army basically, but some people, or so you can say very few members of Pakistan Army who are involved in corruption, or we can say that they are facing some allegations. The people are coming out against them, not the whole army. But of course, this is the first time that people are out and people are talking about them. But main thing, Gaurav, is very interesting thing which I heard today is that the main issue or main drama, you can say, is not the thing which you can see on the road. The main thing or main plays, main game basically, or the जो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कहानी में twist है. The twist is basically in the jail. As Shehbaz Sharif, the brother of Nawaz Sharif, is in the jail. So maybe there is some deal is going on with him. And we can see some different story after 2 days or 3 days. So everybody is expecting something which is we are not seeing today. But we are expecting some really surprising thing.
Jaise,
maybe,
explain this to our viewers. Are you saying that they may release Shehbaz Sharif and this opposition unity will break? Is that what you're hinting at?
No. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying this. Maybe that we are. Everybody thinks that Maryam Nawaz Sharif will come forward and she is the next candidate for PM. But few of my senior journalists, they think that Shehbaz Sharif will come out from the jail and he will be the next PM. So maybe there is something going on behind the doors. So we are just waiting for some breaking news, or you can say something new. But just to divert the attention of everyone, they are playing on the road, or this kind of thing happening here.
Okay. Fair enough. And will that final nail in Imran Khan's coffin, metaphorically, be the Financial Action Task Force grey list? Because Pakistan still has taken no action against the Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar. Pakistan has taken no action against UN-designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed, Zakir Rahman Lakwi. And by magic, it seems, 4,000 terrorist names have disappeared from a list, and the FATF will not be very happy about it. Kamaljeet Sandhu with this report.
Pakistan's troubles are unending. In a massive blow to Imran Khan's embattled government, the global terror finance watchdog has given a final ultimatum. It's almost certain now that Pakistan will remain in the grey list of FATF for failing to fulfill key obligations. Pakistan has failed to take any action against UN-designated global terrorists Hafiz Saeed, Maulana Masood Azhar, Zakir Rahman Lakhvi and Dawood Ibrahim. That's not all. 4,000 terrorists disappeared from Pakistan's original list of 7,600 from its Schedule 4 of Anti-Terrorism Act. Pakistan was shamed for failing to fulfill 6 key obligations which it promised to comply to.
The Financial Action Task Force is scheduled to host a meet between October 21st and 23rd in a virtual meet in Paris. This will be a review of Islamabad's performance as far as global action is concerned, whether it's to deal with money laundering or terror financing.
If Pakistan remains in the grey list, it will become increasingly difficult for Imran Khan to get financial aid from agencies like the International Monetary Fund, World Bank and the European Union, funds that it desperately needs to keep the country running. With Kamaljeet Sandhu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Arzu Kazmi, would the Financial Action Task Force grey list be a sword of Damocles hanging on Imran Khan's head?
Of course it is. And I think if Pakistan failed to remove its name from the grey list of FATF, then it will be the big failure for Imran Khan's government. Because currently he is responsible for all these
Fair
things
enough.
to handle.
Ambassador Vishnu Prakash.
Sure.
Think that,
Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, has Imran Khan proved to be an absolute failure in your appreciation on foreign policy? Saudi Arabia is angry, UAE is angry, America is angry, China is not too happy, and India, of course, has called out Pakistan's lies time and again and bombed Balakot.
Pakistan and Imran Khan are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, Gaurav. They have nurtured snakes, as Hillary Clinton said, in their backyard. They are coming to haunt them. Financially, they are in a mess. More than 50% of the national budget goes to debt servicing and taking care of the armed forces. The militants or the terrorists and the extremist organizations have become so strong that no action can be taken against them. The army is a state within a state, and their dependence on China is complete. And then this FATF sword will continue to dangle. I don't think any prime minister can take it off. Their only challenge is not to get into the blacklist. So call it what you might. In any case, Mr. Imran Khan has other qualities which we have known of. He has never distinguished himself as an administrator. So the chicken have come home to roost.
The chicken have come home to roost. But General, if I may come back to you, in the past, each time Pakistan was in trouble internally, it would try to increase tension along the line of actual control. And we would see a lot of ceasefire violations, a lot of action, maybe a big terror attack in our country, and the entire focus would shift from Pakistan's domestic politics. This time, is Pakistan likely to do the same in the coming weeks?
Absolutely. In fact, Pakistan has always been erring on this aspect of it. I would say if you look at the number of ceasefire violations, which is 3,200 plus, if you look at their attempts, recent input about the tunnel trying to infiltrate even during the snow period, that type of a thing. And actually, to be very honest, there has been no shift, there has been no strategic reversal by Pakistan on the aspect of terror and what track it has taken since so long. In fact, I would say it has already, their strategic choices has led them to a failure on each and every count, whether it's economy, diplomacy, governance, or whatever it is. In fact, today, the cumulative effect of all the errors to such an extent that the governance, administration, the very proxy of governance which they're doing is being challenged by their own awam. I would like to combine this with the previous question which was there regarding what is happening in Pakistan at the moment. I would say that the awam is now stood up for this protest. They, in fact, their woes and the worries and the problems as far as prices, power cut, inflation, all this is unbearable by a normal Pakistani.
Yes.
I think that is the reason. And until unless the Pakistan does a strategic reversal from terror and hate India policies,
which is very unlikely to happen. Arzu, is there any indication whatsoever that Pakistan will mend its ways? Pakistan में समय बिजली नहीं है, पानी नहीं है, खाना नहीं है, but your generals are becoming richer and richer, whether it's Asim Bajwa and his franchise or a former chief who's alleged to have massive property in Australia and another chief who has massive property in Dubai and another chief who has massive property in the UK. आपके तो हर आर्मी चीफ की विदेशों में जायदाद ही जायदाद निकल कर आ रही है और आवाम के पास खाने को 2 वक्त की रोटी नहीं है.
Yes, this is the main problem which I said it to you, that people are out and people are talking about them just because these journals have some properties outside Pakistan and they have some, franchise, pizza franchise and all such things. So this is the first time that people are talking about them, that the opposition parties are talking about them openly. Now they are not afraid that unka baat karni chahiye ya nahi. They are talking about them, and yes, they are asking Asim Salim Bajwa to give a money trail and everything. But I'm not agree with your panelist who said that Pakistan involved in, or every time Pakistan involved in LOC violations. That's not true, because Tali ek haath se nahi bachti. I'm sure that there is something which India also involved to make the attention, divert the attention, because the same situation of Bijli Pani and whatever jobs-less people are also in India, not only in Pakistan.
चलिए वो एक अलग कहानी है, लेकिन आज हमारा फोकस रिमेन्स पाकिस्तान. बट बिफोर आई गो, आई हैव लास्ट 30 seconds on the show and I want to leave you with happy images. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. This is an image of a doctor wearing a PPE suit and dancing his blues away. Take a look.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.